What is going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back again with another Tottenham update. It's been a while since we last did an update, but there has been a few news stories to bring to you and a few updates regarding some injury news and some little tidbits. Joining me today, we got Brian Daigle from Tottenham Hotspur. How are we doing, Brian?
I am doing great, brother. Enjoying my loan back at Tottenham TV. I'm hoping I'm impressing for the obligation.
Yeah, a loan with an obligation if you meet certain requirements, Brian. And let's hope those requirements are met. First up, we're going to be talking about Dominic Solanke, and he was back. He's been pictured basically back in individual training, and he's back touching grass now, which is fantastic news for Tottenham fans. Sky Sports had a camera in the training session earlier today, and you could see him on the pitch training away from the group, but he does seem to be looking like that on the step to recovery from that ankle injury, which is really, really positive news. And obviously a lot of speculation and fear about how long Solanke was going to be out for, but it seems as though potentially he could be back, within sooner rather than later. I'm hoping.
Yeah, I mean, well, let's have a look. First of all, it's good. It's actually good, really good to hear him back on the training, in whatever capacity. I actually think, amongst the players we have now, I think he could really get goals for us. I honestly, I think we now have the quality that he needed to get him the goals. He'd be loving what Kudus did for Richie against Burnley, wouldn't he? And with Simons on the left at the moment, there's genuine quality there. So to have him back in training is great. When Spurs had international break, the first injury, I think they might have meant the October injury break. That's got to be the aim, really, hasn't it?
Yeah. Obviously, we don't know a time frame exactly when he's going to be fully fit, but in terms of any fears of maybe an injury for 2 to 3 months, maybe that seems as though it's not going to be that long if he's already back in individual training. And I agree with you, like last season, I think it goes under the radar a bit how impressive he was in a lot of aspects of his game, but because he got only 9 Premier League goals, it's almost seen as though he was being a disappointing signing, or he hasn't really worked at Tottenham. But I don't think that's the case. I think he's been a good player. I think he's been kind of I think when he's been on the pitch, you can see he makes a big difference to us. And I think our pressing's a lot better when he's there. Our hold-up play is a lot better when he's there. I think we can keep the ball in the opposition's half a lot more when he's there as well. And I think we all know he needs to get more goals. But hopefully Frank can do that. And we saw what Frank did with Tony and with Watkins. So I'm sure he'll be looking at Solanke thinking, I can do a lot of him. Yeah,
I mean, he did it with Whistler as well, didn't he? When he moved him centrally. The thing with Solanke, I think a lot of the issue with him is probably the fee. £65 million with what you can get in
record signing,
whatever, is a big number. So I think when we signed him, he's a player. The season before, he scored the most headed goals in the Premier League. He thrived on that kind of service, and he had Semenyo, and obviously he came in. And we didn't bring a winger in that we needed that could cross the ball. So he really struggled. But I thought his hold-up play, his pressing and his work rate for the team was incredible. But the most important thing that we needed from him was the goals, and we could not find the ammunition for him. Well, when he's back, we will be able to get the ammunition to him. So it's down to Dominic Solanke to say, this is why you paid £65 million for me. But it's another option, isn't it? It's another option up front. We've been discussing Richie and Mwani. We need that extra. So to have a third body available as an out-and-out striker could only be good for Spurs, can't it?
Yeah, and I think the way Frank has got us playing when it comes to in the final third, we do like to get our crosses in early. You can see that we're putting in a lot more crosses in than we were last season. I think that's really going to suit Solanke. So I can't wait to have him back. And I think having 3 strikers rotating, him, Mwani, Richarlison, it's really going to keep all the strikers on their toes, isn't it? And that's really great news.
Correct.
Next up, we're going to be talking about, let's talk about Maddison and Kulusevski. They've provided injury updates as well. So Kulusevski posted a picture on Instagram, I think it was, of him and Maddison on the exercise bikes. So and with the caption saying, Here it is. It says, "We're hungry. Let's eat," in the gym, in brackets. There you go. You can see it on screen now. So that was really, really positive. Maddison as well. He posted a video on his Instagram of him just doing some light training work, obviously trying to get back to full fitness. Here it is. Played. Obviously, it's he's not doing too much, but ACL is a very serious injury, and every little step is obviously going to be very hard. But it's really great to see him, back moving again and back in the gym, and hopefully he recovers. And again, because these guys, Decky and Maddison, are going to, are long-term injuries, we just forget what talent we have waiting to come back from the injury table. And once Decky and Maddison are fully fit, I mean, we're going to have some serious attacking options, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. I mean, it's obviously, like you said, it's so refreshing to see them back in, again, capacity and training, in some form of training. Maddison, obviously, these ones you got to be extra careful, haven't you? You just cannot overdo it and risk having a breakdown or a setback on it. I think Kulusevski is obviously a lot closer. But like you said, these two come back. If they can come back, and I think Kulusevski, we're looking at New Year, really, aren't we? To have him coming back into the second half of the season gives us huge options. Maddison, not till the end, but you're right, Sim. If they get back fit and are able to play a part in any capacity this season, capacity this season, then it'll be a huge benefit for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, won't it?
Yeah, massive, and it's mouthwatering to think about potentially Simons and Decky and Maddison all linking up together. I mean, that is some serious creative power right there. Once they're fully back, but obviously they've got a long road ahead. Decky and Maddison. Maddison also posted on his Instagram yesterday saying, "So great to be at the back at the stadium," and he said he just cannot wait to put on that shirt again and playing for Tottenham. And I think a lot of people, when it comes to Maddison, are, because he's not had the best injury record and because he's obviously nearing 30 now and having a serious ACL, a lot of people I can see are probably writing him off maybe. Do they believe he's going to come back and be the same Maddison? Obviously, we never know. It's going to take a lot of hard work, especially when you're a bit older and you have such a serious injury, to get back to your absolute best. But look, he's the kind of guy, I think he's got that mentality that he's going to do... Look, he's going to do everything in his power, I think, to try and get back to that level. And I wouldn't rule right off Maddison just yet if that's what people are thinking.
Yeah, I agree with you. But the good thing is, thankfully, and I could say it with both of them as well, thankfully Spurs are not in a place right now where they need to rush them back like we have done before. True. Where we've been so bare-boned, or the quality is sparse, and it's like as soon as you're ready or deemed kind of ready, we can put you in and put some and play him too early. But yeah, Maddison, I don't know if come the end of the season Spurs look at it and say, do you know what, maybe we'll move him on. But like you said, Maddison's got that personality and that determination to want to prove people wrong. If he can get back to what we know he's capable of, it'd be fantastic. And also, like I said, I was actually really wanting to see what he was going to do in a Thomas Frank team. But then obviously the injury struck and we had to bring in quality. And now we'll see. But the options, like you said, options in strikers looking better. And once those two are back, that midfield has got... we talked yesterday, didn't we, about who gets into that midfield?
Yeah, I mean...
Well, you had those two to the mix by the end of the season. Bloody hell.
And obviously, we're going to have... I mean, especially for Decky, once... the new year comes, we're going to have big decisions to make about leaving certain players out of Champions League squad again. That's a conversation for another time. Last story comes from Javi Simons' agent, who's been speaking about his move to Tottenham and why... how it all came about, and the story behind his protracted move to Chelsea and why that didn't happen. He said there was genuine interest from both Chelsea and Tottenham, from both sides. Chelsea had certain constraints at that moment which made it difficult for them to move forward. We totally respected that, and they were really clear with us from the beginning about where they were at with it. So when discussions with Tottenham began, their connection and clarity stood out, and it quickly became clear that their project was a great fit for Xavi's development. He says a talk that Xavi had with Thomas Frank was really key because he hit on a lot of good points. Xavi has heard from a lot of people, oh, you're amazing, you're brilliant. He's heard that before, but Thomas really hit him on points that he had to work on and improve. It was total honesty, and Xavi has got a monster mentality. He's been a wonder kid since he was 14. He's not afraid of challenges, and he's really took those words from Thomas in a positive way. And that's, yeah, I remember saying that when I heard about this talk Frank and Xavi had, because Xavi's been in the limelight in such a young age, and he's been probably put on a pedestal by a lot of people since he was a teenager, and he's probably heard from so many people like how brilliant he is. But you know, I've seen it in his career, the moves he's made, from first of all PSV and Leipzig. He's always had his development at the forefront of the moves he's picked. And so I don't think he wants to hear when he's signing for, like, oh, you're amazing, look how good you are, you're going to be so good for us. Like I'm sure his mentality, he wants someone to tell him what he's not doing, how he can improve, how much better he can be than he already is. And that's probably what Frank... Look, maybe Frank understood that in him, and that's what the conversation was based on. But either way, you know, he seems to really... It's not the first time we've heard that this conversation with Frank and Xavi was very, very key to get him in through the door. And, yeah, it's really great to hear.
Well, first of all, I just have, because I can, I'll very quickly talk about Thomas Frank. What I will say is, obviously, when he came, we had a lot of people that were, or fans that were like, how's he going to attract the big players? He's only been at the smaller clubs. How will he be able to deal with egos? Will he be able to deal with... it's so refreshing to hear Xavi come out and say that. Obviously, like you said, that's a great show on Xavi to come and want to improve and pick in Tottenham. But I think it's great that... I think it just shows Thomas Frank can get these big deals done and impress these kind of elite players to come to Spurs. But I also... Do you know what I also loved? I loved Javi Simons' interview in the tunnel after the game, where he pretty much was saying that himself. I'm proud to be at this club. I'm so happy to wear this shirt. It's what you want to hear. And how nice is it to hear an agent talking nice things rather than Radu's opening his mouth non-stop. To hear Javi Simons his agent come out and say that right here, right now, it's just all guns blazing and everything going up and up and up at Tottenham, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and then, you know, him also saying that Tottenham moved with clarity when they came in for negotiations and moved quickly. And obviously we did get the deal done very quickly. It's very unlike Tottenham, isn't it? So great to see that we're capable of doing that.
Yeah, I mean, what I will say is, obviously I did a monster live when that happened, but what I do rate Tottenham for that, and if Levy was involved with it as well, credit to him for that part in it, is yes, it came late in the window and we had the MGW and Eze. But I think what we have to commend the club at is the actual deal was wrapped up. That day it started, it was like, yep, we might be going in for him, but Chelsea, and we were fearing the Chelsea hijack. But Spurs got this wrapped up within 12 hours, in all honesty, from bid in, bang, and Spurs moved heaven and earth to get this deal wrapped up quick. And that deserves a lot of praise.
Yeah, and it's interesting to hear Chelsea had certain constraints, which... I don't understand, because they signed Garnacho like a few days before, so they could have signed Simons if they wanted to. Yep. They prioritised Garnacho instead. Time will tell to see if that was a smart move, but it doesn't seem they didn't have too many constraints when other players came available, and all of a sudden when it came to Xavi, they had all these constraints. So very odd one, that. But look, that is your Tottenham update. Let me know in the comment section about anything we discussed today, and put your thoughts and comments in the comment section. Go show Brian some love and go subscribe to Tottenham on Tour. Link will be in the description as well. Big up to you, Brian, and we'll see you very soon. Like, subscribe, and comment, and as always, come on you Spurs.
Come on you Spurs.